It's time to put the kids to bed. It's rated IDP with Nate, Coach, and Dougie.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rated IDP Live. We're here tonight in Rider Digest Network Studios. As you can see behind me, I was taking over a new look. I got ran out of the sunroom, got ran out of the podcast studio in favor for the oldest kids. So, Oklahoma Doug's here in the spare bedroom. This is the quilting room. So, tonight, live from the quilting room, it's Rated IDP Live. Tonight, though, from the quilt room, we get the co-host back. My brother from another Canadian mother at Dingus Florida. What's up, Coach?
Not much. It's good to be back here. I spent last weekend out in the middle of nowhere, coaching a little hockey, traveling.
Hey.
About 3-hour travel both ways. So 6 hours total traveling for a 3-hour game. And got a big W there. 0-0 game, and we scored the game winner with 12 seconds left. So
Whoa. Okay. Whoa. We gotta rewind real fast here, just because we're a little bit American. But you said it was 0-0, Coach, and you said somebody scored the game winner. So rewind real fast and tell us how that happened.
We're talking a little hockey here. I coach a little hockey now right here in the spare time. My daughter's team, my son's two teams and stuff like that. So, yeah, we've had a pretty good season. We're 3-0 right now, and we went into hostile territory and got the game winner with 12 seconds left in the game. So that was a pretty big moment there. The girls got really excited about it. So, but now we're back to football. So
that's what I'm talking about. Horns down. Suck it, Texas. And always, I can't shake him because he's here all the time. The producer at Nate Cheat. What's up, buddy? We here all lonely tonight. I got somebody joining us here in a little bit, but for now it's just us. What's up, homie?
Yeah, what's going on? It's good to be here. I'm all rested up this time and not gonna fall asleep on you halfway through the show. Last week was we had
a blowout last week. And
yeah.
You were nodding off on me, homie. I
had family in town. We were busy.
I had to move studios and ramp up the volume and shut off sound just so I could come in better, just so I could keep you awake with me.
Yeah, man. That's crystal clear looking video and some good sound. You got that nice banner in the background. No more bobcats and turkeys on the wall.
You want to play Secret Time? That's a shower curtain.
Hey man,
you don't want it over there. Going on behind there right now.
Yes. Oklahoma Doug don't give a shit. That's what I'll be truthful. All right, man. All right, guys, y'all ready to go out the gate, man? Y'all ready to get a segment started off here? Y'all want to start out the gate here? Y'all want to go? Let's start Dingus down in distance.
Yeah.
Just because last week we didn't get Dingus down in distance, so if y'all don't mind, let's kick off Dingus down in distance here to lead off the show this week.
All right, so here we're gonna go here. So. If anyone's been following my Twitter here lately, especially the last couple of days, I've been promoting a lot of love. You know, find someone out there who believes in you, and when you do, you've got something going for you. And then until then, believe in yourself. Keep believing in yourself. But the other thing I've been making sure to do is going around and thanking people. You know, we didn't get to where we're at without someone helping us. When you're first starting. I made comments one of our earlier shows on Rated IDP. One of the very first people I ever reached out to is Gary Davenport, who took the time, responded to my little DMs. you don't know what people are going through. So even the kind gesture of a thank you years later, or, hey, Dougie, thanks for always being there. It seems so small, but it could mean so much to the other person. I know it means a lot to me when I thank someone. And I know when I say thanks to Doug, he loves it. Like it means a lot. It's not just for whoever says it, but the person you're saying it to, it means a lot to them, generally speaking. I don't think we do that enough as human beings, where we thank people who have helped us get to where we're going. So I've been kind of making my mission here, jumping into some DMs, thanking some people who've helped me get to where I've been here. I'm very happy to say some things are going good with Rated IDP Live. Has been a great addition. We've done some great things here. Branched out in some other directions and some good positive things going there. Nate's been putting together some sexy as hell t-shirts for me. You might want to go check that link out that was sent out. So make sure you go take a look at that. There's so many things going on, so much help for me, like the t-shirts, the Rated IDP Live show, even trade advice. When you go to someone, I know for me, I'm the worst person at taking my own advice. Oh yeah, look, check those girls out. Oh, whoop, squirrel.
You were on a roll. We were doing so good.
Betty White came up. Betty White was there. What can I say?
Thank you for being a friend.
Little Andrew Dice Clay for you, by the way. No, not Andrew Dice Clay. I got the wrong one. Never mind. Just forget what I'm just saying. I'm going back onto my role now.
Oh, yeah.
We need to thank people, because I know I don't take my own advice, but I love giving my advice. And the advice I give, I find is really good, but I don't take my own advice. So I have several people I branch off to, and I thank them. I ask them questions. They give me advice, and they talk me off the cliff when I'm about to do something stupid as far as fantasy goes. So then I've been kind of doing this last couple of days, but the thing that's really come across my timeline the last couple of days is this damn bullying bullshit that keeps coming across. These videos of people being bullied. I know this is serious. I know I'm kind of going off of fantasy football here for a bit, but this is really grinding my gears. And the act of bullying, this stuff needs to stop. We are human beings here. We need to love and support one another. We need to love on each other. I don't care what religion, what denomination, what it is. The main thing is love one another. It doesn't matter what background you come from. And the worst part about these videos is there's actually people taking these videos and not doing anything about it. This for me is just as bad, if not worse, than the actual act of bullying. People sitting there doing nothing. You need to love one another out there as human beings and take it upon yourselves to care for one another. Like, this stuff needs to stop. And I don't care if you think it's cool, if you think it's funny, whatever stupid ass idea you've got in your head on this whole thing. Why are you doing this? This is someone's son. This is someone's daughter. This is someone's brother. This is someone's sister. This is someone's niece or nephew. These are people who are going to grow up and have children of their own. These acts cut deep. They cut deeper than any flesh wound you can ever suffer. I've seen it in my personal life. I've seen it with the several people that come in and out of our homes, that what long-term effect this has on people. And it's got to stop. It has to stop. And the only people who can stop it is us. And until we can love one another, no one's going to love us. I don't know where to go with this, but it's just really troubling. Like, it comes across my timeline and it cuts me to my soul. Like, these acts have to stop. And I'm glad there are people out there. Now, let's not get us wrong here. There are people stepping up and trying to do right, offering condolences, offering pro football, pro athletes saying, hey, you know what? This is horrible. Come to one of our games. It's on us. You know what I mean? So there are people who are caring and who are loving, who are doing this and that. So there are people doing the right things out there. But the fact that this has even started, the fact that we're still talking about this in the 21st century and beyond, it's got to stop. We have to find a way to stop it. And that's
and the first thing, hey, first thing to do first thing you got to do is talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody thinks it's a cliche. Everybody thinks that the person that brings it up is the bad guy. The person that brings it up is the person that just wants to bring everybody down. So, Coach, I'm with you, buddy. As a Southerner, my wife has some friends that have some kids that maybe a little bit more overweight than the normal kids. Can't do a lot of the activities that the other kids can do. Shit kind of gets kind of deep there, and that's talking about it's the first thing and bringing it to attention. Like I said, like you said, not sure where to start with it. I'm not sure where to begin with it either. But the first thing is talking about it, and we do have to do a better job with it. And I can tell you right now, there's no bullying that goes on in this household. You hear me?
The worst part is
we don't do that around here.
These are just what we see. We know these acts are happening that are not being reported on a daily basis. There's things going on in our schools, our kids' schools right now that we're not even aware of, that are not being brought up. I guarantee these acts are happening in our own backyard and we don't even know about it half the time. And if we do know about it and you don't say anything, there's something seriously wrong with that whole message right there. And I know there's that, like, kids, I get it. Kids, they're afraid it's going to get worse. I get that. But if you're a grown ass man and you see this, you need to step up to the plate.
Yep. But if you don't see it, you need to, if you need somebody to teach your kids a little, call Oklahoma Dougie. I'm here for you. I can get you on FaceTime and I can show them a few moves because I got them moves. All
Dougie's
right?
starting his own dojo.
Next week on the Dougie Dojo.
The Feet and Meat podcast in Dougie's dojo.
The first technique is the pelvic thrust.
All right, Coach. We got another layer there of dingus down distance there, brother.
No, that's kind of, I don't want to bring us down too much on there because that's one message I wanted to really get out there this week. It's eating at me, and I usually look for something fun to kind of relate back to fantasy football. But when you lay your head down to sleep and it's the first thing you think of again the next morning, and then you go back to sleep and you think about it again, you need to say something. And that's kind of what it's been for me the last couple of days. I've had time to think about it and process it, and it still bugs me. So I needed to get that off my chest this week. Now we can get back to our regular scheduled programming.
Hey, whenever we talked about dingus down a distance, the first thing we said was, it's anything man under the moon that you would like to talk about. Anything that is on Coach's mind. It don't matter what the hell it is. I don't care if it's about aliens coming over at area 57, 54, 53. I don't know what the hell it is. Whatever it is. It's about people licking ice cream. I don't care what it is. What I want to hear is what is on Coach's mind. This is what is on Coach's mind this week, and I love hearing it. I don't know about anybody else, and really, guess what? I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks, to be honest with you. It's Dingus Down a Distance. It's sponsored by myfantasyleague.com, the most customizable fantasy site in the game. You can get your little flashy, icons that can talk trash back and forth. You can do that and stuff. I'm gonna stick with the website that's been doing it the longest, that is stuck by my back for the longest, myfantasyleague.com, the most customizable fantasy sports site in the game, myfantasyleague.com. Everybody check them out. All right, Dingus Down the Distance. All right, out of the gate. I've been waiting on out of the gate here. Anybody anybody want to go on out of the gate first, or can I? And hey, Nate, something I wanted to do on out of the gate is what we touched on last week. Last week you talked about John Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this week I wanted just to hit just for like 2 or 3 minutes on the impact that John Johnson had while he wasn't on the field, right? Because we know, but we don't ever hit on what we talked about on the previous show, right? So I wanted to talk about maybe a minute on what John Johnson's impact was off the field.
Go for it.
Now that he wasn't around.
Yeah.
Did you catch the game, Nate?
I did not. It's been very busy.
Yeah, I understand. And what it was a mix. It was a mix with Rap on the field. It was a mix with Weddle. They both ran the field a lot there. So it really, I'd say if anybody needed to pick up somebody, I'd say go get Rap just to hit back on that.
I believe he had 100% snap count.
Rap did. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
That's
we covered that
right
on IDP guys. Johnny hits that one out of the park there. So.
Oh, speaking of somebody, I see a live comment over here.
Yeah, Johnny, he wants to see them feats and the meats.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, the ears are going to have to do enough right now for the metatarsals.
Here we go. We've got
what it do, fellas?
Hey, Jay Waltner from Capology 1 Dynasty Football Factory joins us. What's up, Walt?
What's going on, guys? Sorry about being a little late there. Had a little conference call with my little man, so doing daddy thing first.
Well, you
no problem, man.
Because we were just talking about feats and meats, so.
Feats and meats. Oh, I jumped on the YouTube right quick, and I saw you with some tin on your head. What was going on?
Yeah, I keep that tin. We did a little bit on Area 51 raid here a few weeks back, and I keep that with me at all times now.
Oh, I hear you, man. Those aliens, you never know when they're going to get to your brain.
I'm just trying to avoid any kind of probing altogether, to be honest with you.
Hey, especially
exit only back here.
Exit
only.
And I'm trying to get in.
Yeah. You guys are too much, man.
Hey, okay, but see, we got somebody to join whenever you put that hat on. So later, whenever we put out the link for people to jump on and ask questions, Coach, you got to put the hat back on, okay?
Absolutely, I'll throw that thing on.
All right. So out of the gate this week, Coach, you want to lead us off on out of the gate, Nate?
I'll take the rear on this one.
Okay.
No pun intended.
I'll go first here.
Go ahead.
The biggest news is, for me at least, as a Lions fan, Kerryon Johnson getting injured, going onto IR, having surgery, probably done for the year, at least fantasy wise. So, what's your take on that? This is the second year in a row. Are we seeing a pattern here?
I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to see this. You're going to see C.J. Anderson's hand come up. I'm back. C.J. Anderson. I'm telling you.
All right, Walt. As the new guest, buddy, you got anything to say on the carry-on news here, homie?
What was his first injury? What was the injury last year? Was it the same knee?
I believe it was an ankle. I don't think it was a knee.
Yeah,
well, I don't know, man. Is it the same leg? How about that? Let's ask that question. Is it the same leg? Because sometimes injuries leads to compensation of other things, and you know what I mean. So it's just
Ethan Turner, Paging Dr. Ethan Turner.
How far up does the leg go?
Because I was going to say, I just hope it's not the same leg because it just shows a pattern of. The injuries are working its way up the same leg. So I don't know if it's.
Because I think last year, depending on what side he was, I think he was actually butt hurt last year. I think that's what his problem was.
What's up with all these rear end jokes tonight, there, Coach? What's going on?
Yeah, we're getting a little bit
for something.
Did aliens get to you? Let us know. Seriously.
Is there something you'd like to share with the group?
I'm not ready at this time.
It's Independence Day all over again. Like that guy from Independence Day. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
You got
For
all
all
that.
younger fans out there, I don't know if they know what we're talking about, but Independence Day, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It was a huge movie.
The
Back then,
original.
blockbuster. Right. Will Smith.
Hey,
The original.
do you think there's people watching that don't know the Independence Day movie? For real?
I
Dude,
think
That
so.
was
we
Hey,
that
man.
old?
90s, right?
Are we that old? Can we plant the flag for real?
I mean,
Independence at that point?
do you realize the people playing fantasy now, man? They're like 18, 24 years old. That's our, you know what I mean? So, like, there's a very good possibility they have no clue what we're talking about.
That
You
movie's
gotta remember
probably
when-
25, 26 years old.
When some
Oh
of us
my
started,
God.
when some of us started playing fantasy football, we were using stats out of the newspaper. Okay, that's how. So yeah, there's people out there that haven't seen the original Independence Day.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So-
doubt that, man, at all.
Okay, so if we say Dumb and Dumber, they think we're talking about like who's on first.
Exactly. What's on
Dougie,
second?
who's on third?
Lloyd's on first. No. Harry's on second.
Yeah, so they'll have no clue what we're talking about. None whatsoever. So yeah, but I mean, I hope it's not a recurring thing. I mean, because Kerryon Johnson, man, he was really starting to really come on as a fantasy, top fantasy running back. So I mean, I hope it's nothing lingering. I hope it's just, law of averages are kicking in with him early. And he's getting the injuries out of the way, but I just hope not, man.
And you
Especially
know
for
what?
one,
You know
Rams
what
fan.
don't help? You know what don't help things is they got the Giants this week. And whoever plays running back for Detroit is going to go off for like 13 carries for like 125 yards. No matter whether it's what is his name, TJ Jackson, TJ
Johnson.
Jefferson,
Ty Johnson?
He had
What
a
I
good week
don't-
last week in spelling for him too. Ty Johnson can ball. He came in
Todd
last
Johnson.
week and had a
Is that his
good
name? Todd
stat line.
Johnson.
And JD McKissick gives him that passing option there too. They're not in bad shape. JD McKissick, he can catch that ball out of the backfield. And Ty Johnson came in last week and had a good stat line. And again, like you said, against the Giants this week, I don't think it's going to matter who you put at running back. They're going to put up solid numbers for you.
All right, so if anybody is listening, I'm not sure how many viewers we got right now, but if anybody's listening, is that who you would tell them to go pick up? Their coach is McKissick.
Well, if Ty Johnson's not available, McKissick's if you're desperate and you need a flex
Oh,
option,
is that a real name?
JD McKissick
Me.
or Ty Johnson?
Todd Johnson.
Ty Johnson.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
is
got
that
he's
a
good
real
to go.
name?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
his name.
Todd Johnson. All right. 10-4. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I go
No, man, you're
a
good.
little bit more IDP side. I thought we was talking about an ABC sitcom dad's name. Todd Johnson. I didn't know what we were going
It's
at.
that
Something
shirt,
from-
man. You've got the sitcom on your shirt.
Something
Oh, yeah.
from Tyler Perry. Is that what you're talking about? That was a Tyler Perry sitcom. Oh my gosh, the Golden Girls.
Ty Johnson was
Stay
Betty's
golden, pony
boyfriend.
boy.
I'm not trying to die. I ain't trying to die.
All right, I'll go with my next one, and that is the Texans and the Colts. I think this is a big game right here. Or
Huge.
the Texans and the Colts that happened last week. I think the Colts beating the Texans. I think that says a little bit something about that division because I think that was the two top tier teams we've seen in that division. And I think that was a bit bigger game than people are giving it credit for. For the Colts to come in there and take that game for Brissett to throw 4 touchdown passes. I think that's a bigger game than people are giving it credit for. So my takeaway is week 7 Colts. I'd say upsetting the Houston Texans. Colts upsetting the Houston Texans. That's my takeaway.
You want to know what my takeaway is from that? The Texans got their ass kicked in the passing game, and then they go trade for Gary and Connolly. I think that's going to be a problem.
That just shows you how desperate they are. Yeah, I think they're like 29th right now in passing
Look at
defense
his
or something like that.
That's as most joyous as I've seen him. Wait until you won't see a smile like that until his girl scores a goal. You
wait.
see that?
She's got 4 goals, 1 assist, and 4 penalty minutes so far in the 3 games. But here's the kicker. The Raiders thought so highly of Gary and Connolly, they traded him to the Texans so they could play him this week. That's covered.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
So
I mean, besides Lattimore, have any cornerbacks, I mean, from Ohio State ever been good?
And
Eli Apple, garbage.
Here's the question. I wanted to go off of that. Guys, give me your number 2 team in the AFC.
You're not going to like it.
It's probably going to be the
I'm going to
Colts.
start with you, Coach. Go. Number 2 team.
With Patrick Mahomes out, my number 2 team is the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, he
Grief.
said Patrick Mahomes and then went with the Bills. Okay.
Mahomes is healthy.
Walter, number 2 team in the AFC.
I mean, I'm going to have to go with the Colts. I mean, like you said, as long as Patrick Mahomes is out, I'm going to have to go Colts. I mean, I think they're a more complete team. They got a good defense. I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but Frank Reich worked wonders in Philly with a backup quarterback. He's in Indy right now with a backup quarterback, still doing his thing. So, I mean, I'm going to have to go with them just because, like I said, I think they're a more complete team. My man, Matt Eberflus over there from Dallas, running his thing with the DC there. So
is that the goalie?
The goalie? No, he was our linebackers coach.
Oh, okay. My bad.
On the Cowboys, yeah.
I thought we went back on hockey for a second. My bad.
No hockey.
Nate, who's the number 2 team in the AFC? Nate.
Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh, I forgot about that. That's a good call. That's a good call.
I thought Coach would go with the Ravens.
Yeah, I like them, especially with Mahomes out. But even with Mahomes in, I think there's not a lot of tape on Lamar Jackson, and that's kind of like what Patrick Mahomes had last year. It's a benefit.
Don't worry, Bills Mafia. I got you covered here, Bills Mafia. I got you.
Oh, yeah. Coach is looking for clicks. You hear me? Coach is looking for clicks.
No, but I'm serious here.
Hot take.
No. I'm bullshitting you, man. I like Gore and Singletary, man. I like Gore and short yardage. I like for Singletary to take miles off of Gore throughout the game. I like for Gore to come in and pound the rock. I like for Chase Allen to hit some Cole Beasley. I like the Bills. I like the defensive line. I like the pressure. I like where you're at here, Coach.
But you notice that the teams that we all mentioned, what's the one thing that they have in common, or 2 things they all have in common? They all can run the ball and play defense. None of them are going to
get past the Patriots.
Bills Mafia make the AFC Championship game. But I mean, just for the Bills, I don't know. I think I heard something recently, like the teams that they beat are like 6-28, something like that.
Yeah, it's the same teams the Patriots have beat.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing with the SEC. Yeah.
So I'm going to say right now, everyone can get.
But them 2 teams that they beat, or the 3 teams that they beat, they're ranked number 2, they're ranked number 3, they're ranked number 6. Like they're not getting to where they are. They're because they're bums. Like the Steelers were a train wreck before they lost Big Ben. The Patriots got them before all this happened, and they train wrecked them. They took them to the woodshed. Like this team's for real. This defense is playing lights out, and
Okay.
and you can't argue it. You can't argue it.
Oh, well, we can.
The Pats
And I
are
will.
the Pats are averaging. They're allowing what 4 points a game.
They're not playing anyone.
It's still 4 points a game. No one's
They're
done
playing
that ever.
NFL fucking teams, man.
It doesn't
Like,
look,
Are
man.
they
look.
really? The Miami
Okay.
Dolphins, are they an NFL team? Really? We're
Here's
going to
my,
go there?
okay, really? Okay, so wait. Back to your point. The Bills have played the same
I
teams.
know.
Why aren't they only allowing 4 points a game?
we gotta get this.
We need to get off. We're going back to our feet and meat part of the show here. Everyone needs to get off the Patriots meat, okay? Everyone needs to get off the
Dude.
Patriots meat. This isn't the
You know,
85 Bears.
But what? It's okay. Regardless
No,
or not,
nobody's
still gonna make-
saying that.
they're still going to make the
Nobody is
AFC
saying
Championship
that.
game. At least they're going to make the AFC Championship game. I think we all agree on that.
I will
Yeah.
say this. The road to the Super Bowl goes through New England.
Right.
Well, the Globetrotters always beat the damn Generals or whoever the hell their name was, and that's what I feel like it is. I feel like
The
Really?
Globetrotters
Are we
just
gonna
beat
Are we
everyone.
going to compare? Are we going to compare the WWE of basketball to football?
whatever we got to compare it to.
Yeah, you know what, Dougie? That's not a fair comparison because the Globetrotters actually play with inflated balls.
Oh,
All right, moving on. Moving on.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. You all right over there, Dougie? What's going on?
I was looking at this. Okay.
Nate's up in the top corner there thinking, man, Dingus should took another week off.
Oh man, we love having you on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
go
so going back to them Patriots for real, guys. We got Cleveland. We got Cleveland visiting Gillette this week.
No, they're going to
This
get
is-
their asses kicked.
I mean, this is what everybody thinks, right? You know, I mean, for
No,
real.
everyone's
but-
saying the Browns are going to win. That's all I keep hearing. The Browns are going to win. The Browns are not going to win. They're going to get whooped.
All right. So, but as an IDP show, what we need to do is tell these folks who you can start in this matchup.
James
Darius
And-
Randall.
And as this is a team that is breaking NFL defensive records, but I feel it's a team within the community that we can't trust to start. So is it a time to start trusting these New England Patriots guys?
What's wrong with Jamie Collins?
outside of Jamie Collins, nope.
Okay,
No.
at least name the one.
The only value New England's defense has is as a DST. And if you're playing DST, you need to evaluate your life, to be honest with you.
True.
Um,
Solid points.
you might be able to plug Devin McCourty in as a bye week filler.
Yes.
You know what? Kyle Van Noy, he's been making a couple big plays. Again, bye week filler. He's almost
It also
guaranteed.
depends how deep your league is. Like I've got leagues where I'm starting 30 different IDP players. So if anyone's even on the field, I want them on my team. That's where you get use out of Kyle Van Noy. Man, I was even starting Michael Bennett for a little while, but that didn't
We got to talk about him. Yeah.
Yeah, he
the
just
one I
got
do-
shipped over to the Cowboys, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he can get his head on straight. Apparently, he was fighting with the coaching staff in New England, which I thought New England can take in any rough case and turn them into, choir boys.
I just don't know if he fits their system very well.
Yeah, and I don't see Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett ain't putting up with no damn attitude. Like this
Well,
guy,
he's actually
he's going to be over there hiding in the damn corner of the damn locker room going, I see dead people. I see dead people.
All right, well, I got two things for you. Two things, because I don't know if you know I'm a Cowboys fan. So, two things.
I know you're a
First-
Cowboy.
No, first, he's actually going to play here. All right. I from what I understand, he was only playing like 30% of the snaps over there in New England, and he wasn't
That's
happy
not
with
a
that.
shocking part to me. That's not
But
the shocking part.
he's definitely going to play in Dallas. And number
Yes.
2, we got Chris Richard, who was with him in Seattle when they won the Super Bowl and when he was extremely productive. So, and I think he'll love Rod Marinelli. What's that?
He could fix DeMarcus Lawrence because DeMarcus Lawrence has been getting double teamed, not doing much. Just has been very poor as a
That's why you've been able to.
Talent. So
that's why you've been able
to
start. That's why you've been able to start Robert Quinn.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nobody's starting Robert Quinn without DeMarcus Lawrence on the other side. I mean, let's face that.
And he's only playing like 60%. I don't know if you guys know, but he's still not 100% ready to kind of play because he missed the whole off season with his shoulder surgery. So he's still kind of battling through that. And, they really like to rotate a lot over there. I did see a stat, though. I think 3 Cowboys are on the list for the quickest to disengage or something like that. It was Robert Quinn. I think it was Malik Collins, and it was D-Law. So, I mean, he's getting the job done. It's just when you keep getting – and I believe he's also the most double-teamed defensive end in the league. So, I mean, when that keeps happening, and that was a problem with Cowboys. Like, when he's getting double-teamed, obviously Robert Quinn's taking advantage of the situation. It's just our interior line isn't at all. So that's a big problem.
That means your defensive coordinator is trash, bro, because you need to get some disguises going, man. You need to get some stunts going and get that defense.
No, the stunts is what's killing us. No. See, I don't want to hear the stunts is what's killing us, actually. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
You've got Leighton Vander Esch, and you're telling me that you can't make the fucking defensive line work? What the fuck am I alluding to?
What good is Leighton Vander Esch when he keeps getting guards pulling up, getting up to him because we keep stunting, messing up our gap assignment, and allowing lane for the running back to go in
on the right side, homie. Like,
what does that have to do with Vander Esch, who plays behind the 3 technique on the left-hand side?
Okay, well then you can pull a Jalen from the
problem is linemen are getting to our linebackers, and you should know that more than anybody there, Dougie. When linemen are getting to linebackers, that's not good.
Okay, so I get what you're saying. Well, you're saying that the offensive linemen that's facing the Cowboys are getting to the second level. That's what you're saying. Like you're saying the zone block. The zone blocking is moving to the second level. I see what you're saying.
Because we keep stunting too much. Because when you stunt, you lose gap assignment.
Okay. All right. Cool. Hey, for real, I hear you. And now you see LVE banged up with the neck stiffness.
Because he keeps taking out. Because he keeps taking out 300-pound linemen. He's not supposed to be doing that.
All right, good. Hey, I see you, homie. I see you. We just having fun, man.
No, I know, man. It's all love. No, so Michael Bennett coming in, that's gonna help out everybody completely. So I mean, right now, I'll be honest, man. If you go pick him up, I go pick him up ASAP because in Philly in a 4-3 system, he had 9 sacks, and then I was watching game film of him versus the Cowboys, and when he was in Philly. Ooh, boy. Oh, man, he was lighting up Dak, lighting up Zeke in the backfield, making Zach Martin on a few plays look foolish, getting past Tyron Smith. Like, yeah, man. So,
and I don't know. So that line's banged up, ain't it? That line's banged up, ain't it, Walt? Like, it's banged up.
It is. But like I said, man, so like I think he can do a lot of big things in Dallas when he comes there. And like I said, he'll play a lot more, which makes him happy. If he's getting production, he's happy. And look, man, we're used to that family. We dealt with Marty B. We know what that family's all about. So I think we'll be all right, man. Like I said, more he plays, he'll be happy. That's it.
All right, Nate.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. All right, so I got my out of the gate out of the way. Coach, you ready for yours, buddy?
Yeah, I want to talk about something here, and we're it's going to kind of segue into something else a little bit later here. I want to talk about new faces, new places here right now. We've seen the trade deadlines coming up here right now. We got the capologist here with us, so that's awesome too. We've seen Emmanuel Sanders go to your 49ers. We've seen Mohamed Sanu go to the Patriots. I don't think we're done with this trade deadline. I think this could be one of our more active trade deadlines we've seen in years. I think last year was just kind of the opening of the floodgates. Last year we've seen more trades than years previous. I think this year we're about to see some crazy shit go down. And I'm glad we got our capologist with us, because we're going to need someone to break down these numbers that are coming out at us left, right, and center here when these trades start to go down. I love the Emmanuel Sanders to the 49ers. I think it's a good fit there, especially considering, I hate to say it, Dougie, he's already their number one wide receiver. There's that room.
Yeah.
And the things,
there ain't nothing. There's no ill regrets here, homie. You hit it on the head.
Yeah. My only concern with Emmanuel Sanders is, and he's already proved me wrong by coming back the way he's come back, how that injury may have going on the season by week 12. Will he start to feel that injury a little bit more? I don't know. I'm not Dr. Turner, so we'll see how that shapes out. I think we're gonna have a QB controversy go down in New England, because Mohamed Sanu is coming in there with like a 158.3 QB rating all the time. Like, we got some quarterbacks there in New England. They could throw 3 quarterbacks out on the field at the same time, and Brady, Edelman, and Sanu. So,
we talked about on our last podcast, we're waiting for the reverse pass. So Brady's going to pass it to Sanu, who's going to pass it over to Edelman, and Edelman's going to pass it back to Brady. Okay,
so we know that's going to be an incomplete pass right there.
The annexation of Puerto Rico.
That's a perfect play. Annexation of Puerto Rico. That's a perfect way to put it.
But like I said, I think this trade deadline, we're going to see some names getting moved here. I don't know what the contract situation is. I would not be shocked to see an AJ Green possibly getting moved on.
Hearing to the Saints, possibly.
There's talks. You'd be stupid not to kick the tires. Robbie Anderson's name has come up. I know my Raiders need to kick the tires on an edge rusher and some wide receivers. I'm not just talking about for this season, but if they're looking down the road here, they definitely need to try and get themselves another edge rusher there. So I think they may be in the market at 3-3. We can't. John Gruden's been done a good job with that offense. That offense is not the issue right now. So I could see them going out and finding someone to go with Tyrell Williams and Zay Jones. Let's see what else. Like, there's names that are out. Melvin Gordon's name's been
say that out loud again. Say that out loud again.
Melvin Gordon's another name that's been floated out there. I don't know if he gets
I heard to the Lions. What's up with the Lions there? Nate, what's going on, man? I hear the Lions. What's up? Is that true? Is it BS? Is it
Melvin
people just
Gordon
trying to play matchmaker?
I don't know. That sounds expensive. They
For 1 year?
shipped Quandre Diggs, so probably freeing up some space, but it didn't seem like much like right away. It was mostly long term.
It would only be a 1 year deal, because I think he's in the 5th year option, so it would only be for 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, if they've got the ability, but why would you grab them for 1 year and then not try and keep them? You know.
Well, that's the whole thing, is it's all what they give up. You know, and San Diego's going to want a high pick for him. So I don't. Yeah, that's why I don't see it happening, because you would probably have to give up a first round pick.
Throw a first round pick and then lose them. Like, you're not going to just do that. So I don't know. I haven't really seen too much of that in Lions Twitter that I've been following. No one's been saying that. Mostly been Kenyon Drake. That
Drake's name's been out there quite a bit.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Xavier Howard is another name that could be on the move.
Actually, I've heard some really crazy.
I've heard Xavier Howard here to the Niners here. I've heard the Niners ain't done yet. Has anybody heard any more movement there from the Niners? I heard they might be on board with Howard there.
Well, I've heard every player available is already going to the Patriots. I've heard that all over Twitter.
Oh yeah, but I just kind of throw that out.
I cancel that out right now. They don't have the cap space for it. That's why they had to get rid of Bennett. That's why they got rid of Bennett for nothing. That's why they're getting rid of. That's why they got rid of Gordon. Gordon's not even hurt. All right, he's not even hurt. Like, they just said that for nothing, just so they can waive him. So maybe put him on IR. Things like that, so they can do all that. So yeah, and when the Patriots got Sanu, I don't know if you guys do it, but if you guys don't, follow Brian Phillips. I don't know his Twitter right now off the top of my head, but he's a big Patriots cap guy. He said how getting Sanu actually put him a little bit over the cap, so they had to release some cap space by the end of this week in order to get it done. So that's why Bennett was basically given away for a can of corn, and that's why they're also getting rid of Gordon. So. Yeah, so no, the Patriots are pretty much finished. They're done. They're not really going to go after anyone else.
But on the other hand, that tells you how much they had invested in Sanu, right? Like Sanu that kind of tells you how important Sanu was to them, right, Walt? Like,
well, yeah, the fact that they wanted to make moves. Yeah, they really wanted him. It was him and Sanders that they actually were going after. And actually, I don't. So I actually did a podcast yesterday with Kevin Turner, who's part of 105.3 The Fan down here in Dallas. He also writes for the Athletic.
Yeah, I know KT. I know Fun Tweets, baby.
KT Fun Tweets. Yeah, he did Capology with us yesterday, and he actually let me in. He actually let me in on a nice little bomb that I never even heard. He said that Stephon Diggs to the Patriots was almost a thing. Like they were actually talking about it. Yeah. I was like, get out of here. He's like, nah, man. He's like, I'm telling you right now. He said, if you guys listen in the pod, he'll break it down for you. Yo, he was saying, yeah, they were talking about it. They were working on getting it done. But then the Vikings just kind of got cold feet at the end. But yeah, Diggs to the Patriots was almost the thing. Wow. Imagine if that would have happened.
Hey, hook me up with
Coach over there's about to throw up.
All right.
But no, but I got some other guys that could be on the move too, as far as even IDP purposes.
Come on, Walt. Let's go. Roll with it.
Geno Atkins, Bengals. They're 0-7. He's old.
Carlos Dunlap.
Carlos Dunlap. He's another one. A guy that I would love for the Cowboys to get. I still think the Cowboys can make some moves. A guy I would love for the Cowboys to get. Ndamukong Suh. He's on a 1-year deal. They just keep losing. There's no reason to have him there if they're going to keep losing. So I mean, shoot, man. Stephen Jones pick up the phone call, offer a fifth or a fifth and a fourth, offer a third and a fifth. I don't care. Get it done. Imagine having that. Quinn, Bennett, Sanu, and D-Law. Wow.
It would make Suh relevant again because he's just getting double teamed. He can't put up any stats. If he get back on a line that had talent around him, he would be relevant like he was in LA.
Right. Good point. And he would help our run D, which is pathetic right now. Yeah. So that would be great.
There's always the benefit for real football, but we're here talking about fantasy football.
Right. Right. So I mean, he'd get a lot of one-on-one. I mean, who are you going to double team on that line?
Yeah.
So but yeah, he's another one. I've actually heard the Jets are taking calls on Big Cat Williams. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what's happening there. Yeah, I've heard that. Leonard Williams.
Oh, Leonard. Okay.
I was going to say Quinnen was their draft pick.
I know. That's why I didn't know that. I was like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that they're taking offers in on him. They're picking up the phone on him. I don't know if they are yet.
Nate, this is a good time to Nate, you want to throw that link out there?
Yeah, we can do that. Get some.
And anybody that's heard any of these rumors, that's heard any of these trade talks of any of their teams maybe accepting some of these I've heard Quan Alexander at my own Niners. I've heard we're shopping Quan. I've even heard that. I've heard we're sellers as well as buyers. So anything that you've heard, Nate, you want to throw that link out there, and anything you've heard with your team, you jump on with us. And Nate will tell you how to do that real fast. Nate.
Yep. Sending it out on Twitter. I'll put it in all the chats for Facebook and YouTube, and we'll start taking people live on the show. We'll talk.
There's a couple others here I'd like to talk about too. You hit on Leonard Williams. He's another one I was looking at. Yannick Ngakoue. He's an option there in Jacksonville. Could be on his way out.
This new
Janoris
type.
Jenkins. Excuse me.
Yeah, I heard that too. The Jets are getting ready. The Giants are looking at getting rid of him too.
Yeah.
Who? Say that
Giant-
again.
The Jackrabbit.
Oh, Jenkins. Oh, that's a good get.
And
That's
let's
a
not
good,
forget.
Hey, that's a good cornerback on the market right there.
Well, he's not the only cornerback on the market because Patrick Peterson.
I'd
I
say
heard, is on the
lockdown.
market,
Would y'all
too.
say lockdown in the right defense? Would y'all
Yes,
say
right.
lockdown?
Yes, right defense.
I would.
I'm a lockdown corner in the right defense as long as no one throws to
Oh,
me.
shut the hell! You ain't. Maybe in the Laugh Olympics.
That's why I said if no one throws at me, I can lock you down.
Can you keep up though?
Maybe on the Dastardly Dogs.
No. I'd give like a 20-yard cushion minimum.
At least.
At least. I'd still get burnt over the top. Let's not kid ourselves.
But yeah,
Well,
so I don't know if you have any others, Coach.
I could see the Vikings making a play for a cornerback. With the way they're clicking right now, and
Eagles.
the way maybe their secondary could use just one piece. What do y'all think about the Vikings making a play for like Artie Burns?
I mean, maybe. I just don't know.
I don't think that's the solution for the Vikings. Artie Burns has not been very good since he's come into the league. He's been picked on a lot. He's good for fantasy because he's going to make tackles because he's getting thrown at often. But yeah, if I'm trying to price someone out of Pittsburgh, I might be looking at Mike Hilton over an Artie Burns.
Okay, in that nickelback slot, somebody getting out there. I can see somebody maybe shipping out there in that nickelback spot.
Let's not forget about there's one big ticket player out there that I'm sure that has been kicking the tires in Washington and that's their big left tackle there who's sitting out the season.
Trent Williams.
Yeah, I heard that they are not moving him. Actually, you know, it's funny you said that because we actually the night before that we had a guy on for the Redskins and he says they are absolutely not moving him, even though they're just being completely ignorant about the whole situation. So yeah, he said that they're not moving him at all, which is so dumb.
Is he in the last year of his deal right now? Or is
I don't know. I'll have to look it up, but I don't think so. I think he still has like a year or two left.
Because it's pretty clear to me he's not going to play for the Redskins ever again.
No.
I think there's some pretty harsh feelings there. A lot like like in the Jets locker room there with their.
What is up with that, man? That's so dirty how they're doing Osemele right there.
Yeah, I bet you he wishes he was back in Oakland.
Yeah, I bet you he does. But hey, didn't the Lions just trade a safety?
Yeah, Quandre Diggs to Seattle.
I heard Slay was kind of pissed off about that.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a locker room winner, that's for sure. But they said that they expected that, but they just, I don't know. Apparently, they saw some dip in his tackling ability and thought this was the time to do it. But I don't know. He was the captain of the defense, so.
Well, you know what? Their head coach there, Patricia there, he comes from the Patriots hierarchy of coaching, and Bill Belichick always seems to get out just in the right time. But some other guys that we got to keep an eye on here is Josh Gordon, because if he is healthy and gets waived off of IR, I believe the situation is he's free to sign with anyone. However, if he waits a week, he goes
to the waiver wire. So it's kind of like fantasy.
No, I've heard that if he is waived prior to Wednesday, he's free to sign with anyone. But if it's after Wednesday, then he goes waiver wire. Or after the trade deadline, he goes waiver wire. I think that there's some weird thing I see. I thought I've seen Rappaport bring it up. So that's something to keep an eye on. And let's not forget, there's another wide receiver who's pretty much begging for a job right now. And after the trade deadline, someone may take a shot at Antonio Brown.
I hear teams are interested. I mean, I don't know how true that is with Rosenhaus as your agent, but
Have you been watching his Twitter? I don't think anyone's knocking on his door.
I think
he's desperate.
he's desperate. He's not going to get any of this money he's looking for from either the Patriots or the Raiders. It ain't going to happen. Especially with these last little text messages that were going back between him and Mark Davis. That's done. He ain't getting no money out of the Raiders. I guarantee you that. I think you'd be stupid not to at least kick the tires on Antonio Brown after the trade deadline. To kick the tires. I'm not saying bring him in, but you got to kick the tires, find out where he's at, and find out what the legal situation is here too. Because as far as I know, these are still just allegations here, and nothing's actually happened yet. So
yeah, I haven't heard anything since those allegations came out. I've heard nothing.
So I think now I don't know if the NFL is going to step in and suspend him the second he's back on a roster or not, but and then who knows about his helmet too, because I don't think he's ever
that
got
seemed to just clear up the minute he stepped foot in New England. Yeah. But what I'm questioning is if he does sign with another team, like isn't he pretty much suing the NFL for this money? Like that you're basically saying like, oh, I'll just give up this lawsuit and sign with this team and start playing. Like, I don't know if you can do both. Can you be suing the NFL and collecting a check from them?
Wouldn't that maybe be collusion if they didn't?
I don't know. I'm not very smart, so.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like your employer. If you're in a suit with them for unemployment, the minute you start working for them again, you have to drop the suit.
I don't think it works that way because I think when he went to New England, he was still trying to recover money from Oakland.
Yeah.
The second he signed in New England.
I don't know how it works. I just don't know if that's going to impact anything. It's like
is he also going after money? Isn't he also going after money from Patriots too? He said, "You guys are paying me. You might as well play me."
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that he's off his rocker, man. Yeah. I don't know what his problem is, but sometimes he's got to just let it go, man. Just let it go. If he's trying to play, then let it go.
Well, this is I brought this up during the height of his whole craziness. Was you got to figure that this guy has never done anything wrong in his whole life. Everything he's touched as far as a football field has always led him to success. So he doesn't, I don't know how old he is, like late 20s, early 30s, like someone who's never been told no for 20 something years. You psychologically, that can't be good for you.
No,
and
absolutely.
Now he's at a point where people are telling him no, like you got to stop. You can't do that. Like he's been a rock star for at least 5 years, 10 years, something like that. When was he drafted?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, so he's shit gold for so long that he doesn't understand why he's no longer shitting gold.
Hey, another guy we didn't talk about, Chris Harris. I'm hearing Philly might be kicking those tires on him. I hear apparently they want to give a fourth, but Denver wants a third. Like, come on, Philly. If you're really hurting that much freaking corner, like, really?
You're going to hold it for one. And get a corner because Philly's cornerback play has been atrocious.
Yeah,
so really, I know we could give Shane a call and get him on here, and he can go on a rant for about an hour about that secondary in the Eagles. But Howie, you got to watch Howie because if there's a GM who's going to make a play for this trade deadline, it's going to be Howie here. He's going to make a play because he always does it. He knows his cap, he knows his players, he always has that finger on the pulse of the team. And yeah, the Eagles are definitely going to be a player here, and they're only one game back of the Dallas Cowboys, so they're still in it. It's not like the Detroit Lions there, where even though the Lions are 2-3-1, the Vikings are playing great football. The Packers are playing good football. They're going to be hard pressed, I think, right now to get into that wild card picture the way it is right now.
I'm looking here at the free agents for next year. I mean, as far as even cornerbacks are concerned, Jimmy Smith is going to be a free agent next year. That's pretty much it, really. Oh, another guy that could possibly be on the move, maybe Gerald McCoy. I mean, but they keep winning over there in Carolina, so I don't really see a reason why they would get rid of him. Aqib Talib. I don't know if they still feel really good about him in LA still. I mean, he's still there though. Yeah, I mean, there's some guys. Marcel Darius. I've heard his name in some trade stuff. And then I mean Von Miller, I don't know if you really want to believe that or not. I don't think so. I think they're just going to let him ride out his contract because you still need to put some, fans in the seats. And if you're getting rid of all your big name players, no one's going to start to show up to games.
That's actually a name that I have been hearing in Lions Twitter of people wanting the Lions to go for because they have such an atrocious pass rush. Like they've basically been getting, coverage pressure, and then sometimes, like I think this last game against Minnesota, they weren't even getting any pressure. So a lot of fans out of Detroit have been wanting Von Miller to make make his way over to Detroit. Whether or not that could actually happen, who knows?
Derek Wolfe, I've heard his name. I've heard his name and stuff as far as being available from Denver. Yeah, Denver, they're just going to be a firehouse. They're going to start just giving away guys pretty much. I mean, I don't see a reason why they would really want to keep them around. Jonathan Joseph, he's old though. He's 36, but I mean, he's only a $5 million contract, so he's really cheap. And we brought Big Cat Williams up. So, I mean, there's still some names out there that, can be had, but I mean, I just don't. Vic Beasley, I've heard Atlanta's on somewhat of a fire sale right now. So Vic Beasley might be available, which, I mean, he's only a one-trick pony. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe your Lions could use him for pass, just pass rush situations only because it's pretty much all he can do. And he doesn't even do that very well.
Yeah. We need help, but at this point, it's tough because we need a lot of help.
Mm-hmm.
In different positions too, because they're talking about trying to get a running back. We've had injuries with like Snacks, Alshon, guys on the line. It's the last game was a bloodbath for us.
Wait, have you guys heard these Scandrix comments about the Eagles? Yeah, he was just going off on them, saying how they're sniffing their own juice a little too, drinking their own juice a little too much over there about the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and they just think that they're always going to win and stuff like that. And then Malcolm Jenkins came out. I don't know if you heard him say, "I don't give a shit what he says." So I don't know, man. It's gonna be an issue over there though if Philly doesn't figure it out quick. I mean, I got some friends in Philly, Shane there, and I got some friends on Instagram I talk to, and after the Cowboys game, they're talking about going 6-10. I'm like, oh God, come on now, guys, calm down. Like 6-10. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Nate. Like, calm down over there. Like, geez, man, really?
The Eagles will be fine. End of the day, the Eagles will be fine. As long as Aguilar doesn't have to try and catch any babies out of a burning building, they'll be fine. They'll find themselves in the wild card.
Yeah.
Against the Cowboys, that was one of the worst efforts I've ever seen at a pass I've ever seen in recent memory. He had a step on the ground.
Who was it, Aguilar? Was it Aguilar or Jeffrey who did that? It was Aguilar, right?
It was Aguilar, yeah. Again.
Yeah, that was bad. I saw that play and I was like, ooh. I mean, did he even play it? I'm surprised he played a snap after that. But I don't know, man. It makes you wonder how much was this whole offense, all Frank Reich? Because, like I said before, man, he goes over to Indy with a backup quarterback, still winning. Peterson came. I don't know. Maybe Peterson relied on his OC or his coordinators a little too much there, because it doesn't seem like they're doing really. They're struggling. And Wentz is taking a beating. He's taking a beating.
And that's impressive to see him take a beating because he's got a good – that O-line is pretty solid. It's one of the better – okay, let me rephrase that. Before the season started, it was probably graded as one of the top lines in the league.
It was, absolutely. Like, everyone was talking about them or the Cowboys. Who was better?
Yep.
And, I mean, right now, both of them aren't doing what they're supposed to be. I mean, at least I could say injuries. We missed Collins. Tyron Smith's been out for a few games. Zach Martin missed a game. So, but still, yeah, man.
The Cowboys got their ass kicked here, not last week, but the week before. They had those injuries, right?
Right.
And it definitely showed. You could see the huge drop-off after Smith and Collins, and they step out of that line. And I don't think Smith is right yet himself.
Nope.
Who who was done. Even Brandon Graham was taking a good run at him last week in that Eagles game. He was getting beat all over the place. Like, that's not your
Had some
typical
holding calls.
Yeah.
You don't hear that from him.
No, he is one of the top 3 tackles, bar none, in the league. And he was looking no better than Colton Miller. And Colton Miller's looked good this year, by the way. I'm just throwing it out there. But he did not look like that all-pro tackle that he's been for years.
Right, yeah. I hear you, man. I don't know. I'm getting worried because the back injury keeps coming up over and over again. I mean, this time it was an ankle, but that back injury keeps flaring up. A lot of Collins starting to have back injuries. Like, I don't like to hear back injuries when it comes to tackles because they have to do all that bending and stuff like that when it comes to those faster pass rushers and everything like that. So I don't like to hear when it comes about back issues.
The only thing that might be saving grace for Dallas is in that division, outside of maybe Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett's the one who owned Smith all game long. Outside of that, Derek Barnett, there's not that real pass rusher in that NFC East that they're going to face on a regular basis. So that's a little bit of a saving grace there. They only have to face the Eagles one more time now, so they should be good as far as that goes. But I don't know. Like, the one unit I am impressed with this year, and I'm going to go back to homerism here, the Oakland Raiders offensive line has looked fantastic. And now they're getting healthy, and Richie Incognito's off the embalming fluid, and he's looking really good there in the guard position. Colton Miller is looking –
get that rust off.
Colton Miller, I would bash because we could have had Derwin James a couple of years ago in the draft, but we took Colton frickin' Miller, right? That was, in my opinion at the time, was a bad draft choice. But he's looking good. He's been looking good right now. They got Gabe Jackson coming back. And here's something, because the Raiders' defense has been so bad, their offense is like the 8th most efficient offense in the league right now.
Yup. And Jacobs, I think, is one of the most elusive running backs in the league right now as far as missed tackles.
Yeah.
So, and he's a rookie, man. Like, that's pretty impressive for a rookie to come in and do what he's done so far. And, you know, I mean, Tyrell Williams, he's been doing his thing a little bit. I mean, Waller balling out. I mean, he's your best receiver you got right now. So, I mean,
shocking,
but hey, if it works, man, it works, right?
So
it ain't broke.
I could see the Raiders being a player at the trade deadline and adding pieces. Like, they got rid of Connolly. Okay, I get it. They like Kieran Nixon there, and they like Trayvon Mullen there too as corners. And if you're going to get beat, you might as well get beat with a non-Ohio State player and go from there, right? But I could see them making a play because look in their division. They played Kansas City when Kansas City was the good Kansas City, and Kansas City only scored in one quarter in that game. You got to remember that. All 28 points Kansas City scored was in the second quarter. So they played with them. And then you take a look at they got to play the Chargers, who aren't very good. They get the Broncos again. You know, they could be in that 8-8, 9-7 mix for a wild card spot if they make the right moves here at the trade deadline. If they add another maybe wide receiver or another linebacker, because we know there's these teams out there that are going to be selling off pieces that could get you into if that's what you want. If you want to get into the playoffs, I think they could make the moves to get themselves into the playoffs here at this trade deadline. I don't know if any other members of Raider Nation are following along right now, but if you are, hit us up and just who do you want to see the Raiders pick up? Eagles fans, who do you want to see your Eagles pick up outside of a cornerback? Because that's what you guys need. You need like 3 of them.
I mean, dude, I'm looking right now at the standings, man. I don't see why your Raiders can't be. They won't be fighting for. I mean, it still will be maybe the last wild card, but they'll be fighting for it. Because I'm looking here. I mean, looking at the North. I mean, you got the Bills. I mean, I know you like the Bills. I'm not really a believer.
I think the Bills are going to wrap up that first wild card. I think the Bills got that first wild card under wraps. I know it's early. We're not even halfway through the season yet, but I'm going to call the first wild card to the Bills.
So basically, if you're saying that, it's going to come down to what happens with the Colts and Texans.
Texans. And this week could be a good preview.
Right, because right now, I mean, like I said, I'm looking here. That those are the only teams that, I mean, depending on what happens with the AFC South going on right here, I mean, that's the only thing that's really a threat to you guys, because you got the North. I mean, the Ravens are going to run away. They're running away with that. And the next best team is the Browns at 2-4. So that's it. The Ravens are in. That's it. The West, like you said, you guys are in the West. You got the Chiefs, and then you guys at 3-3. I mean, the Broncos and the Chargers are both 2-5, unless something crazy happens. I don't see any of them coming back. And you got the Pats and the Bills. Obviously, the Pats are undefeated, and the Bills are 5-1. Other than that, then the rest of the division sucks. So it's going to be that the two wild card spots, I feel, are going to be between the Colts, the Texans, the Raiders, and the Bills.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think it's going to come down to whoever doesn't win the AFC South and the Raiders for the last wild card spot. As of right now, things can change and teams can get hot. We've seen it happen in the past. We've seen the same Chargers team start off like 1-8 and then come back and get 8-8. And, so we've seen crazier things happen in the past where teams have gotten themselves back in. I think the Chargers would be smart if they just get rid of Melvin Gordon and let Austin Eckler take the reins full time, because he's been absolutely beauty when he's been in the game. And we've seen in weeks 1 to 3 the numbers that Austin Eckler was putting up. And with Melvin Gordon coming back in the lineup, that's killed both their values completely.
Oh, shoot. You guys play the Texans this weekend.
Yeah, big game. And we traded our starting corner to the Texans so we could throw at them. That's how bad Gary and Connolly is.
Man, that could be the wild card, the decider right there.
It could be. It'd be the head-to-head, right? So it's going to be interesting. We'll see how.
Dude,
that goes.
I'm looking at your schedule. Dude, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. What are you guys, 3-3 right now?
Yep.
So you got the Texans coming up. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? You guys think you win or lose that one? I mean, I know you think. I mean, I think it could be L.
I think this is going to be an interesting game here because I don't think either defense can stop each other. To be honest with you, the strength of the Texans defense is in their front four and J.J. Watt. And you flip the script, the strength of the Raiders is that offensive line. And I think that's going to neutralize Houston. Now, on the flip side, I don't think we can stop Houston from scoring. So I think this could be one of those games where whoever has the ball last wins. And I'll kind of
if you had to pick a call, I mean, I know you want to say a W, but what would you say here? Do you think they'll win? Seriously? Or you think it's too close to call?
I think it's too close to call. The homer and me will take the Raiders every day of the week. I took them against the Packers last week. And you know what? The score in the Packers game, you got to remember, Derek Carr fumbled through the end zone.
Right.
And then the Packers came back and scored on that possession. That's a 14-point swing there. Then we also threw a pick in the end zone, in which the Packers scored again after that. That's a 28-point swing right there. That's ball game. So the difference between the Raiders and the Packers wasn't that much. And everyone's calling the Packers potentially the best team in the NFC. I'm not, but there's people out there that believe that. So
right. So you guys played the Texans, then you got Nate's Lions after that.
And I think the Lions are a very underrated team themselves. I don't think the Lions get enough love. And I'm one of the people, beginning of the season, I threw a lot of shade at the Lions. I did, because the Lions
I don't remember this. We might have not been friends at the time.
No, probably not. You got to remember, I don't have very many friends, and the ones I do don't last very long. But, I was.
Why.
You're my friend, Coach. You're my friend.
Yes. Friend total 2. That's for you, Mom. But I did not give the Lions a shot. Like when they played the Chargers, I'm like, the Chargers are going to roll through the Lions. It's the Chargers. Yeah, and the one game they should have won, they tied. The the Cardinals. They should have beat the Cardinals. I know that's still a scab there for you, Nate, but
it's a lot of scabs this year.
I was like, okay,
it's part of being a Lions fan.
There's those shirts out there. Chargers going to Charger, Lions going to Lion. You know what I mean? you kind of have that feeling every once in a while. But the Lions have been very good. Matty Stafford is the most underrated quarterback in the National Football
I
League.
love Matt Stafford. I don't know why people hate on him. I love Matt Stafford. He's tough as nails. Yeah, man, he's tough as nails. He sits there and, man, he could put the ball through a freaking Cheerio. Like, I don't know why people hate on Matt Stafford. I mean, he's never had the best offensive line. He's never had a running game until Kerryon Johnson. Like, I just absolutely don't get it. But anyway, so let's say they beat the Texans, close game. So you think they'll beat the Lions? What do you think, Nate? You think I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
It depends where we're at. If we're healthy, we could be dangerous. We hung in with Kansas City. We lost like last second, basically.
Okay, well, besides those two games, then you got the Chargers, then you got the Bengals, then you got the Jets, then you got the Chiefs. That's gonna be a tough one. Then you got the Titans, then you got the Jags, then you go back to the Chargers, and you finish with the Broncos.
That sounds like
I don't look,
7-3.
man. You can be possibly 10-6.
Yep. Well, and I was with my boy there, Sal Lito here. He was on the Vipercast on Tuesday with me, and he goes, "Did you hear what Rich Eisen said?" I go, "No, I didn't hear what Rich Eisen said." He said, "The Raiders are going to get the wild card at 10-6." Is what Rich Eisen said. And it's very possible. You look at the schedule; they already got through their hard part of their schedule.
Right. That's what I just rolled through a bunch of teams that are garbage.
And you look at the teams like the Lions there, they're sitting at 2-3-1. They pick up a win this week. They beat the Raiders, and now they're back to one game over 500. You know they could play with the Vikings. You know they could play with the Packers. You know they're still very much in this too. And that's saying something because that NFC is stacked. When we're talking the Raiders path to the playoffs, the AFC path to the playoffs, not to the Super Bowl, to the playoffs is far easier than the NFC. There are some solid teams in that NFC. And you talk about teams that haven't even hit their stride. The Cowboys haven't hit their stride. They look good for 3 weeks. They look like shit for 3 weeks.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking at the rankings. Like, you got the Cowboys. I mean, then I don't know, depends on what you feel about the Eagles. You got the Niners are undefeated. The Seahawks are 5-2. The Rams are 4-3. I mean, I don't know if
The
the Cardinals,
the Panthers.
Right. You got the Packers at 6-1. The Vikings are 6-2. The Saints are 6-1. The Panthers are 4-2. So I mean, like every division has at least it seems like every division has two legit teams.
Yep.
In each division. I mean, besides maybe the NFC East, like I said, I mean, it depends on how you feel about the Eagles, if they're gonna, completely shit the bed, or if they're ever gonna come back or not. But I personally think there's only gonna be one team coming out of the NFC East. It's whoever wins it. That's it. I don't think anyone else is gonna come out of there. But the other ones, like I said, Niners, Seahawks, Packers, Vikings, Saints, Panthers, and who thought the Panthers would be where they're at, man? Freaking losing. Oh, that's another guy that could be on the move. Cam Newton, and I'm actually hearing possibly the Bears.
Well,
I don't know if that would be good for him. I feel like he needs to go somewhere with a lot of offensive power. And I don't know if I feel that good about Allen Robinson. No, he was in Jacksonville. Yeah, I don't know. I
mean, what other team can he go to?
Good.
I mean, what other team really could use him, though?
Well, any team that's trying to build for the future, too. Tampa Bay, they could take a look at him. Tennessee could take a look at him strongly.
He only has 1 year left on his deal, too, so.
Yeah, anything would be basically a sign and trade kind of thing. As soon as you trade for him, you're going to sign him for a multi-year contract off the get-go. The game I'm looking forward to this week, that's going to have huge implications, is going to be that Panthers 49ers game. You're going to see two solid. It's going to be old school football there, I think, because I don't want to give the 49ers a moniker or anything, but in my opinion, right now they could be that front four. You could almost consider them the new age fearsome foursome, going back to the old Rams teams there with Deacon Jones and those four guys they had there that were solid. And they're good as anyone in football right now, and they're going to get Christian McCaffrey. So this is going to be a fantastic little matchup here, a game inside the game, the 49ers front four and the Panthers there. And then we're going to get a good look at how that secondary can hold up, because if the 49, the one thing with pressure and good fronts, the way to get rid of that is that short passing game to the Christian McCaffreys and stuff, because then you're not coming up the field nearly as hard because the screen game's kicking in. So I think that's going to neutralize that front four for San Francisco. Once you neutralize that front four in San Francisco, can the 49ers secondary hold up with crafty receivers like DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel? Shifty little guys running out of the slot. That's going to be the test there. And I think that's the way Kyle Allen's been slinging that ball.
And Greg Olsen, too.
Greg Olsen's still there, yeah. So it's going to be an interesting game inside the game there, because that 49ers front is as good as any, but Christian McCaffrey is the best player on the planet right now. And it's not even close. Dalvin Cook is kind of 30, 40 yards behind him right now, but you're talking about running back number one. He's probably wide receiver 3 overall. You know what I mean? The guy's going to catch 100 and some passes. He's going to put up I wouldn't be surprised if he's in that 1,900 total yards from scrimmage when it's all said and done.
Right now, he's on pace to break the record, and he's missed a game.
Yeah.
That's what everyone keeps forgetting. Like, him and Dalvin Cook are side by side, but Dalvin Cook hasn't had his bye yet. So, and Chris McCaffrey has. So, it's like, whoever thought that guy would be as good as he is, man. Jeez.
So hypothetically, I can say this because Doug's not on right now. If the Panthers beat the 49ers and go to 5-2, and the 49ers go to 6-1, that's going to make that playoff mess beautiful.
Even messier.
Yeah, it's going to be absolute beautiful chaos. I love chaos.
Yeah, and then that means the Seahawks are only one game back. And can't count on Russell Wilson. Can't count on Russell Wilson.
That's the one game I'm definitely, outside of the Raiders and Texans game, because I'm a sucker for punishment. That 49ers-Panthers game is one I'm definitely making sure I'm watching this weekend. What about you? Is there a game you're kind of looking forward to outside of the Detroit Lions?
I'm just looking forward to actually watching some football this weekend. It's been a couple weeks, so yeah, that's where I'm at. It's been a lot of work.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably most intrigued by that Niners and Panthers game, because, like you said, that has a lot of implications on it. I mean, shoot, man, at the end of the day, I mean, if the Panthers somehow find a way to win, I mean, they just keep putting the pressure on the Saints.
Well, what's the one thing that the 49ers have had going for them for their success? Their running game, right? Mm-hmm. Calvin Smith has been fantastic. Matt Breida has been fantastic. Well, what do they get in Carolina? They get Luke Kuechly there, and they get Shaq Thompson coming at them. So it's going to be the matchups in this game.
Gerald McCoy.
Oh, the matchups are going to be so fantastic. And Staley's not 100% either. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's playing or not. I imagine he is playing this week, but he's not 100% either. We talked about Tyron Smith there not being 100%. Staley is another one of the top tackles in the league, and he's not 100% either. So it's going to make it's going to be a fun day to watch some football there. So Nate, congratulations on being able to watch some football this week, because there's some games out there you don't want to miss.
And I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but like even though the 49ers just got Sanders and all that other stuff, like their receivers, I mean, he just got there. And I know that there's a lot of similarities between the 49ers offense and the Denver Broncos offense and everything like that. But I mean, other than that, man, they don't have receivers that scare me. I mean, you got Kittle, but I mean, Kuechly's a nice counter to that. And Shaq Thompson, you know what I mean? They're guys who can move.
They have a solid secondary there too with Eric Reed.
So you know what I mean? So if you take away Kittle, like I really wonder what that does to the 49ers offense, because let's face facts, there's not a lot of people who can take Kittle out of a game. We're not even to take him out, but somewhat neutralize him. And I feel like the Panthers have the ability where they can actually contain him to a certain extent. And then other than that, what do they have? I mean, are you scared of any of their wide receivers?
Not really. Dante Pettis has been Dante Pettis. There was a lot of hype coming into the season for him, and I just haven't seen it. And actually, no one's seen it yet, including his head coach.
Right.
Deebo Samuel's interesting. Deebo's interesting there too. Marquise Goodwin's a guy I love, but he's
boomer bust.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's either
played 20% of the snaps last week, if that.
Right.
And we're talking about a wide receiver core, like you just said, that's not very intimidating. And Goodwin can't even play 25% of the snaps. So that's good.
So I expect a lot of blitzing coming from the Panthers this week.
Yeah, and the Panthers have success when they do that. They're no slouches on that front four either. So they can hold up just as well as anybody. And like I said, the 49ers have been lucky here so far this season. Not lucky. Fortunate that their front four is as good as they are, because that front four is making that secondary look really good because they're getting pressure to the quarterback and not giving the wide receivers time to get open. So it's like I said, that's the one game I'm looking probably the most forward to for the implications for the playoffs and even your fantasy. There's going to be some fantasy points handed out in that game there between Shaq Thompson, Luke Kuechly, Quan Alexander. Fred Warner is a good start this week because of Christian McCaffrey. Man, you're not starting. You're not going to start DeForest Buckner and Nick Bosa, and these are must starts for you no matter what. Gerald McCoy could have a big game because the 49ers like to try and run between the tackles, and he's going to eat up a lot of space there. So, man, there's going to be some good points both ways here. But I think my prediction is the Panthers probably pull this off, but I've been wrong many times, so I'm not going to put a guarantee on this one.
I wish Dougie was here.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been fun to talk about.
I just want to kind of touch back here for IDP purposes here and talk about the Thursday night game here a little bit here about the Vikings. There is a defensive lineman on the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if anyone knows his name, but he is the best defensive end in the NFL right now. Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter. No one talks about him.
Never.
No one ever talks about him. And he is literally putting up the most points. Like, I'm looking at our IDP Pod Wars scoring right now. I know it's very heavy. It's all over the place. But he is 1.25 points behind McCaffrey. 1.25 points behind McCaffrey in that scoring system. Danielle Hunter does not get the credit that he deserves as a defensive lineman, the top D end in the league. I know there's a few of us out there that have him as our number one, but there's many people that don't. He gets like the Matt Stafford treatment of defensive linemen. What do you think about that, Nate?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that I definitely try and target and get. I didn't get any of him this year, but I feel like he does best when Everson Griffin's there on the other side. And last year with Everson Griffin going out, Hunter stepped up a bit, but also had some issues with getting double teamed and kind of taken out of the game. But this year he's been playing lights out for sure.
Well, even Batman needs Robin, right? You almost need, like we just talked about the Dallas Cowboys earlier. Michael Bennett is going to make DeMarcus Lawrence better again. You know what I mean? And if not, Michael Bennett's going to eat, because if they're going to keep doubling DeMarcus Lawrence, Bennett and Quinn are going to absolutely destroy things. Like, they're going to keep Quinn's having a fantastic season already. And you can't tell me Quinn's any better than Michael Bennett. I'm sorry. Like, I
no,
think Bennett's better
not at all. Not at all. Puerto Rican Bobby is not better than damn Michael Bennett. But yeah, I'm looking at Danielle Hunter's stats right now. I mean, he already has 8 sacks. He already has 33 solo tackles. That's insane for a defensive lineman. I mean, last year he had 51. I mean, if you compare this year to his years previous, he already has more this year than he ever had any previous year, besides 2018. And on top of that, he has 10 tackles for loss, which besides 20, he's already half of what he had last year. He had 21 tackles for loss last year. He already has 10. And he has 13 QB hits already. He had 19 all of last season. That's insane. Yeah, he's really good. And he's only 25.
He might do all right at this football thing. He might be okay at this football thing.
And he's only 25. I didn't know he's still so young.
Well, he came into the league at something stupid, too. He was like 18 or 19 when he came into the league. He was like one of the youngest players ever to get into the NFL.
That's insane, man. Like, yeah, he said, like I said, he already has 10 tackles for loss, and it's just and 33 tackles. Like, dude, he's on pace for 60 tackles as a defensive lineman. That's unheard of.
You don't even have
So
good
imagine, so right now where we are, we're on what, week 8, right? Week 8,
Mhm.
yeah. So if we just project him for the rest of the year, 16 sacks, 66 solo tackles, with 20 tackles for loss and 26 QB hits.
That's defensive player of the year numbers.
That is definitely that's JJ Watt numbers.
And we're not even going to talk about him. When it comes to the end of the season, if he even has those numbers still, we won't even talk about him.
Nope.
And it's a shame.
It is a damn shame that you bring it up, man. I never looked at him like this, and wow, he's phenomenal.
So I'm gonna try and move along here off of this a little bit. I want to do a little trick or treating with you here, IDP style. So I'm gonna throw a name out there. You're gonna let me know if it's a trick or it's a treat. And I want to start in Washington. I want to start with Washington right off the get-go. I want to go to their defensive line. I want to go with God. I'm going to butcher his name like I do everyone else's name. Matt Ioannidis.
Yeah.
Trick or treat?
Well, I'm gonna say just because of the depth, he's like their third tackle. So I'm gonna say he's a trick.
So right now, if you look at his numbers, and this is through 8 weeks here right now, he's got 24 tackles, 5 for a loss, 16 assists, and 3.5 sacks.
It's not bad for a backup defensive tackle.
I know he's saved me in a couple of leagues here already this season. For me,
because who do they have above him? They have Payne and the other guy from Alabama.
Allen. Jonathan
Allen. Yeah,
Allen.
and Allen. Right. And he's playing behind them.
Yeah, unfortunately for every Redskin, that 3-4 defense absolutely kills the value. It's like a buzz killer. The 3-4 defense is a buzz killer for defensive linemen.
Right. No, I agree with you, man.
I got Ioannidis in a couple leagues. One of them is that 32 IDP players, and he's just been great. Getting him off the waiver wire and then plugging him in is like DL 4 to 6. Just insane value there.
So just for the record here, in our Pod Wars League, these are where I'm getting these numbers from right now. He is the 18th ranked defensive player in scoring.
He hasn't even played full time. And he plays in a 3-4 system.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to ask you another guy who
imagine him at the 3 technique, though. Oof. If he played in a 4-3 defense, and maybe the 3 or maybe the 1 technique where he could actually rush a gap every freaking time. Wow.
Here's another one for you. Cornerback, New York Jets, Darryl Roberts.
Oh, I'll be honest, I'm clueless on the Jets right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to say this is a 50-50. I'm going to go another trick. He's another trick.
He's going to be a trick for you. 35 tackles, 1 for loss, 4 assists, and 1 pass defended. Amongst corners, he is sitting at probably, let me just see here. Where are you at, Darryl Roberts? Number 7 ranked on cornerbacks.
What? That's definitely a treat. Whoever would have thunk it?
Yeah, he's one of those guys. If you're streaming corners, he's a guy that's probably still on your waiver wire. I bet you no one's even picked him up. Unless you're in a deep league, then someone's obviously scammed him. But we know teams can throw on the Jets, and that's what's kind of been happening there. So he's been the guy. He's getting picked on a little bit there because they got Brian Poole over on the other side, right? So Brian Poole's not any better, but
consider those stats. He's got what you said, 11 tackles and 1 pass defense.
He had 30-something tackles, right?
Oh, 30-something. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't defend the pass, but he can tackle it when it gets caught.
Right, exactly. So he's allowing a completion and then tackling. So he's a bad corner.
He's a bad corner, which is good for us.
Right.
Yeah, as long as you get tackles, right?
All right, I'm going to go to Detroit for this next one.
Uh-oh.
Tracy Walker.
I'll just take that with Nate.
Oh, that's a treat.
That is a treat. And he's going to continue producing the rest of the season for you. For me, he's like candy corn. Very sweet. Very sweet.
Oh, I hate
Not too many people like candy corn. That's
I
I was
love
about to say, oh,
do Canadians eat a lot of candy corn?
I think so. It's got that very maple syrup kind of thing going with it. That very sweet kind of going down. So
I think it's candy corn and circus peanuts are like the two most hated like candies out there that I personally love.
popcorn balls are usually up there for me.
yeah, I'm not a
I
big
haven't
fan of
had
candy
one of
corn.
those since like the 90s.
Let's see here. Another guy high on the list on scoring in the IDP Pod Wars thing here. Let's go with Shavarius Ward, Kansas City Chiefs.
Are you going to
cornerback.
actually pick a trick though? I'm waiting for the trick.
Well, this usually the high scoring guys, that's where the trick is, right? Just because you're producing now, I'm just waiting for those guys to fall off. Like for me right now,
Well, it's like you said though, the Chiefs' defense is not very good passing wise. So if they keep getting thrown on, and those guys are getting tackles, right?
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's see here. Let's see if we can find ourselves. Let's dig a little deeper here in the overall points here. Okay, here's the one for you. Trick or treat, JJ Watt. You want to make you think?
I'm gonna say he's still a treat, man. It's still JJ Watt, right? I mean, how could it not? I mean,
I'm going trick on that one. He's JJ Watt, meaning he cost a lot, but he's not putting it up.
he never reaches his value. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? He never just quite reaches that value.
I've got him in a couple teams.
Oh,
And I hate to say it, but JJ Watt, for me, I'm waiting for the next injury. I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for it because he's made it so far 8 weeks without an injury. So he's due.
Yeah. I don't know so much about that because I've been thinking that same thing for a couple of years. I think the biggest issue is him not having someone on that other side. We've talked about DeMarcus Lawrence and getting Michael Bennett and how that helps him, but the loss of his counterpart there to Seattle, JJ Watt, losing that has kind of flattened his game because him, you can go to Aaron Donald. Did you see the video of Aaron Donald getting triple teamed during a game? Like,
Did he lift anyone up?
was it the Seahawks? The Seahawks game was that?
I don't know. This was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was a Seahawks game. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. But so this just shows like when you're the only guy on that line, they target you. And
Yeah.
you know, it's easy to take you out of the game. So that's what's happening with JJ Watt as well. I mean, he's kind of bounced back a little bit, but the value is lost because he was a big name. He would be like someone that you would reach for in a draft. Get him not only as your DE1, but probably losing out on your wide receiver 3 at the same time. So his game kind of flattened, and you know the other side, Whitney Merciless coming in, and he was getting basically the sacks that JJ Watt should have been.
Now, only if they had
distributing
another defensive and edge rusher type player on their team.
Imagine if they
someone like
traded for Von Miller.
Or they would have kept Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, Clowney. That would have been nice.
Well,
Well, I'm just looking at JJ Watt here. He's had 4 weeks where I would consider him a good start.
Yeah.
He's had 3 weeks where you didn't even want him in your lineup. That's it. For me, it's a trick.
yeah, if he's basically a 50-50, then you're saying at that point.
Yep. And for me, I don't want 50-50.
Especially where you're drafting him.
I'm going to another one here for you guys. Defensive tackle, Pittsburgh Steelers, Javon Hargrave. Remember, Stefan Tuitt is lost for the season.
Right. I'm saying he's a trick just because of that. I mean, everyone's probably focusing on him. I mean, who else do they have besides him? Or they have TJ Watt, but
They have Ironhead Jr.
Hargrave, I think I pulled him off the waiver wire in a league. I think he's doing pretty well. I haven't been paying a lot of attention.
Well, Stefan Tuitt was taking a lot of those the snaps previous to his injury. So Hargrave is someone who's been getting those snaps in the last couple of weeks. And if you're looking at someone to possibly fill up your roster down the stretch here, you could do worse. So he's right now he's at 11 tackles, 2 for loss, 3 assists, and then 2 sacks. But he's essentially been playing. I don't have the snap count in front of me, but until like the injury, he wasn't getting very many snaps to begin with. Mm-hmm. So I think this one's tough for me. I'm not too sure which way to lean on this one. I think if you could do worse at the defensive tackle position, but I'm probably still leaving him. It's a trick for me right now. But you got him off the waiver wire, he could be a treat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we're going to stick with defensive tackles here and go with Jerron Reed. Seattle Seahawks, defensive tackle, back from suspension. Last week laid an absolute egg.
So I'm guessing he's a true Rick. I just pulled up Hargraves here. He's playing 88% of the snap last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's getting more playing. He's getting more and more playing time.
So that's where I'm kind of thinking he could be a treat for you because those playing time numbers are coming up. So if anyone's actually still watching and they're looking for those D tackles, Hargrave, check your waiver wire. He could still be on that waiver wire. Mm-hmm. That's why people sign up for this, right? Find that in-depth analysis.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 62% of stats. But no, it went up. He jumped up almost 20%. I mean, before that, he was not even playing 50% of the snaps.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's definitely someone to keep on the radar there. I think he could be a treat, especially if you got him off the waiver wire.
It always
How long ago did Tua get hurt? 3 weeks ago?
2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and against Cincinnati, he had a sack. Against Baltimore, he had a sack. Last week he didn't have a sack, but ever since he's been playing more, he's been getting a sack. So yeah, I mean, 3 tackles, 2 tackles, 1 tackle for loss each game, an additional QB hit. No, man, you're right. You're right on that, man. It's a sneaky little play there, little sneak attack.
A little sneak attack. Got to throw those in there for the people.
Yeah. So yeah, people know, go get Hargraves right now. But Jared Reed, what were you saying about him now? He's not been very good, huh?
Well, he's only played 1 week. Last week was his first week back, come back from suspension. Now, he is one of the premier D tackles in the National Football League. But he's going into his 2nd week here. Is he a trick or is he a treat?
I mean, I'm hoping he's a treat because if he's premier D tackle, then I mean, hopefully he's getting back to form, right? I mean, maybe last week he didn't do that well, but it's probably it's going to take him a few games to get back into form. And wow, and they got Jadeveon. I'm just thinking about this now, and they got Jadeveon Clowney now on the other side to help him out. So yeah, I don't know. I think moving forward, it could be a treat. Looks like someone has to go.
No, my girlfriend just colored her hair and she just showed it to me, and it's interesting.
What are you talking about? It's beautiful. You're supposed to say it's beautiful, Nate.
It's red on one side, blue on the other side.
Very patriotic.
Pink. So, yeah, interesting.
Yes, yeah. Nice.
Hey, you know what? Anyone who has hair is okay with me.
Yeah, there's a couple up there, some peach fuzz. It mostly migrated.
Yeah. And did it ever? This is glorious. This is right up there with like Gardner Minshew, Sam Elliott, Burt Reynolds. Like this is right up there with the greatest of all time.
You're missing the glasses, man, and the headband.
Yeah. Well, maybe I got one of those kicking around here still. I usually throw my props on my desk here and they sit here forever. Because I'm too lazy to clean up my workspace.
I hear you, man. But yeah, no, but Reed, I think he's going to start picking it up, especially with Clowney over there and everything. So I think he's like, maybe not now. I mean, maybe now. I mean, if he's on someone's team, maybe buy him on the cheap. If he's still on the waiver wire because of that suspension, which I doubt. I bet you everyone started picking him up like 2 weeks before his suspension was up. Everyone started picking him up then if you didn't have him already.
And my last trick or treat, Thinking going for the rest of the season here. Jordan Hicks, Arizona Cardinals linebacker.
Oh, he's a treat.
Do you believe he sustains this the rest of the season?
I mean, why not, right? I mean, they looks like he's going to play a lot of snaps on defense, being that their offense stalls.
Yeah, I've got some injury concerns with him though. That's my only. If he can sustain it, then he's definitely a treat. That's for sure.
And okay, I'm gonna go. I don't have a name here yet, so hopefully Jason give me a name here. Is there anyone who's potentially going to get traded that could have an immediate impact going to a new team? We got Bennett there as an option there too. We know he's going to do well in Dallas. Is there someone else that could possibly be traded, just to kind of tie in this whole trick or treat with our trade deadline stuff we talked about earlier?
Well, I brought him up before, but I think if Geno Atkins can get moved, if he goes to the right team, playing a defensive tackle, it's not as much of a transition like playing a wide receiver. You don't have to you're not really getting used to a quarterback. It's just, go do your thing and play your technique. So I think if he can go somewhere, I'm trying to think where he could possibly go, that he could really help a team out, especially someone who might be, on that playoff bubble. But yeah, no, him, I think if he goes somewhere, he can definitely be very, very good. I'm trying to think of anyone else right now off the top of my head. Chris Harris, if he goes to the Eagles, I know I'm rehashing right now, but they need cornerback help so badly.
I didn't really get to see a lot of it, and I haven't looked at the box score. But how did I saw at least one play where Jalen Ramsey last night was able to make a couple good plays. That seemed to be a very quick transition from the Jaguars to the Rams.
Yeah, Rams, because Wade likes to play a lot of man-to-man defense. That's what and that's what Jalen Ramsey does best. Man-to-man defense, play man, you're good. And that's what Wade likes to do a lot of. So, and he likes to blitz a lot. So, I think that was actually another perfect spot for him for what he does.
Well, it was perfect for Jalen Ramsey, because when he got to LA there and into the training room, holy shit, Jesus was there and healed his back like that.
Yeah. But honestly, same things that happen with AJ Green. Once he gets traded, he's miraculously healed. Yes, holy water. Woohoo.
He'll go 5 years without any turf toe. Right,
without any injury whatsoever, without anything. He'll be fine. No ankle surgery, no nothing. He'll be just A-okay. And he's 30, but yeah, so
play Brady.
But, not anyone. Please Brady. Not in New England. Anywhere but New England for these guys.
Yeah, well, like I said, they're pretty much cap strapped right now, so I don't know if they can do anything.
Well, did we mention that number? Is it $2 million that they still have on cap?
I don't know. I'll have to double check, because the numbers, they probably didn't finish them yet because of all these deals that they've made. And they also haven't officially waived Gordon yet. So once that happens, they'll free up some cap space there. So, but yeah, that's why they're getting rid of people, is to help free up some space. And who knows? Maybe they're not done. Who knows? You never know with those damn Patriots. They pull shit out of their ass all the time.
All right. Well, I see we're getting close to that the bewitching hour here. We're hitting about the 2-hour mark, and I'm gonna sling it over to you there, J-Dub, and let the people know where to find you and what you're working on here. And we're gonna close up the shop here, turn off the lights, and take all the candy back upstairs.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
That's right. You can find me on Twitter at DFFJWaltner. I am on co-host of Capology 101. Dynasty Football Factory. So we got, like I said, we have 2 episodes that'll be dropping soon. One for the Redskins and one for the Cowboys. We're just doing a quick breakdown of what we do is we're grabbing guests for every team and giving you some insight that those guests have on their teams with regards to now just the offensive positions. I know you guys don't like to hear that, but just breaking down, their thoughts of guys that maybe not a lot of people know of as far as depth-wise and everything. So, maybe you can get ahead of your league mates, maybe make some moves now, maybe pick some guys off the waiver wire. to help solidify your roster. And maybe, I did it. I heard, like I said, from the Redskins guy, he said, Harmon, he really believes in him, and he doesn't see why he can't be a wide receiver opposite of they call him F1 because McLaurin. So I went and picked him up. So listen to that stuff. Capology 101. Check us out.
All right, Nate. While you're stroking your pussy, there, you got anything to say?
Oh man,
How do you end off that, man? How do you do anything better than that?
Yeah,
You can't top that one.
Right out in the, yeah.
The cat's
You
like
can
looking
find
up,
me-
like.
You can find me on Twitter at Nate Cheat. Do the IDP guys every week. We got idpguys.com, dynastyfootball digest. idpguys.org, dynastyfootballdigest.com. I just launched a t-shirt site, my fantasy football shirt, partnering up with Dingus here and Dynasty Vipers, getting their shirt out there. Check it out. We do custom t-shirt designs for your brands, for your leagues, whatever. If you need some shirts and stuff and merch, hit us up.
I'll be honest, that sounds like a really good thing to do for the worst team. Get them a shirt. It says how bad they were.
We actually have one. It says, "I'm really bad at fantasy football."
And you put like their record on the back and how many points they didn't have and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It sounds like a really good one.
Sounds like that shirt you give a guy at your before your season starts golf tournament to make him wear for all 18 holes or whatever you do.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what? If you're into wearing a vagina on your chest, definitely go buy the Dynasty Vipers T-shirt. Like that thing, like that right there. Nate.
I like that though. That's nice. I like that.
But you can get all your swag over there.
Is even worse.
But thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. And I mean, if you guys want, send me some contracts you want. I'll break them down for you. Any guys, if any of your guests ask you for anyone in particular, just let me know. I'll pop on, and maybe during the off season, I'll pop on and let you guys know who can get cut, who won't be, and we can go through stuff like that.
All right, and for the host with the most, who ain't afraid no ghost, Oklahoma Dougie. I'm Dingus 4, Matt Donnelly. This is episode. Nate, throw a bone here.
20.
This is episode 20 of Rated IDP Live. And we gone.